I believe all things are possible. God bless your bones, America. I'm your host, the Right Reverend David Clark, and I'm more than happy to come into your home today and to declare the blessings of God in your life. For I believe that the blessings of God maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. I believe that the Lord is moving by his Spirit, and I believe that he's moving throughout the earth. And I decided a long time ago that I wanted to be a part of the move of God in the earth. For he's raising up new leadership all around the world. And he has his eyes on the city of Aliquippa. Yes, he has raised up a young man by the name of Dewan Walker. He has raised up a young man by the name of Donald Walker. He has raised up another young man by the name of Quentin Dixon. These men are making a difference in the short period of time that they have been in political office. And we are so happy today to have them to come to be a part of Across the Pastor's Desk Outreach. Yes, Across the Pastor's Desk Outreach is now on the air. So call your neighbor, call your friend, call your mama, call your daddy, and let them know that the Across the Pastor's Desk broadcast is now on the air. We're going to be sharing with you. We're going to be praying and singing and blessing God, because we believe that God has come forth with a testimony from these men today. They have something to say. They are doing a great work in the city of Aliquippa. But before they come in their special way, we're going to bow our hearts and bow our head in prayer. And after that, I'm going to sing a song of Jubilee, and we're just going to see what God is going to do. Let us bow our heads and let us pray. Our Father God, which art in heaven today, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Pray without ceasing, for this is the will of God. Pray without ceasing, for this is the will of God. Pray without ceasing, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Oh, rejoice forevermore, for this is the will of God. Rejoice forevermore, For this is the will of God. Rejoice forevermore. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. In Christ Jesus concerning you. Well, I pray that that song encouraged your heart and confirmed in your heart that you are in the perfect will of God. I believe that the mayor, Dwayne Walker, is in the perfect will of God, and that God has arranged for such a time as this for him to come and accept the call of leadership and to function as the mayor of Aliquippa. Welcome to Across the Pastor's Desk.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I am delighted to have you here. I want you to know that.
Thank you.
You're the first African American who has ever held the seat of mayor in Aliquippa.
Yes, sir.
That says a lot.
Yes, sir.
That means a lot.
To me, yes.
They said that it would never be done.
Yeah.
They said that it couldn't be done.
Yep.
But God proved them wrong. And your obedience proved them wrong.
Yes, sir.
So I really thank God for you being here today. You have such an amazing story. I've never seen tragic and famous blend together. You're famous to be the mayor.
Yes, sir.
The tragic that you had to experience to be the mayor is amazing. It is an amazing story, and I think people all over the world, all over the country should know about this. Can you give us some insight of the tragedy?
My sister was Deidre Michelle Walker. She was killed on September 5th, 2009. She was shot in front of my nephew, point blank range, because she broke up with him, and he just broke her. He shot the door off the hinges and shot her at 3:30 in the morning. We get a phone call, we go down, and then by 3:55 they had pronounced her deceased. That shook my foundation. That shook our foundation as a family. Even shook my foundation in faith, because you don't think you live long enough for somebody to hold that much malice against their heart, to want to hurt somebody you love and truly value as a person. And to have it happen in front of her nephew, in front of her son, was tragic. But like I tell people, my sister was the spark that started it. But the way we carried it after that point was just a testimony of God's will, because He kept He kept my family together through the whole tragedy. Most people would have had no excuses for doing the wrong thing. They would have just done it. They would have retaliated or did something wrong, but we couldn't retaliate because the young man who shot my sister also killed himself. So it was a murder-suicide. So you just, you go through months of regretting, grief, anger, rage, the whole thing, and then all of that, the calming storm is God, because He puts His hands on you, and He lets you know, you might not, every day is going to be different. It's not going to be the same, but I'm here with you. And, you know, my mom and dad brought us back, you know, brought me and my brother back to Christ. And it's through them and this testimony that we have is why we're here right now, for that resiliency. You know, that faith in God that's so unwavering now in my life. I truly can't explain to you how much God means to me. I mean, I just would do anything for God. I would lay my life down for him because of how much favor he has showed in my life these days.
Right. Well, I noticed that your cabinet have experienced the same but similar but different tragedy.
Yes, sir.
Could you comment on that?
Every 7 people in my cabinet have experienced tragedy. Mr. Ken Rainey lost his wife. She died of an aneurysm. He was my president of my campaign and vice chair to my finance committee. Jamal Jeans lost his brother Will Moulton to a shooting. Will Moulton passed away a couple months before my sister. Terry Humphrey's mother had cancer. And Courtney Dawson lost her father a few years back, who all these people have, played influential in everybody's life. That's a part of us. Mr. Joe West, lost his mom. And, I mean, everybody has a tragedy, so we all connected on that Cornelia. All of us were speaking from the same heart, the same damage.
Did you select them because of their tragedy, or did you select them because of their skill or what they had to offer?
It just so happens like God just put them in front of me. I mean, it was really crazy how it happened. I said I was going to run for mayor, and I put something on Facebook, and then those are the people that came.
And responded positively.
And they responded positively to it, and it was just like T.D. Jakes said, don't give me a person that hasn't been through a tragedy, because I won't listen. But if you give me somebody who's been through a tragedy, we'll sit and talk a while, and I'll learn about his strengths and their weaknesses and how they got up from where they were knocked down from. And that just held true. It was so significant because that was true enough that everybody that was with me, if we could take a death, we could take on anybody. I mean, we could take on anybody and not be wavered and not have fear.
So did they have political history?
No.
Say what?
No, none of us had any kind of political background.
Wait. You selected me that didn't have
no political background, no affiliation.
For the first time. So this was their fame too.
Yeah, this is our. Yep, we kind of walked this walk together.
I think that's an amazing story.
We walked this walk together. We have faith in each other.
Right.
And when you got young people with like minds and want to see a city shine, like we want to see our city shine, it's hard to keep that enthusiasm down. You got to get out and do something, and we did.
Now, Councilman Walker,
yes, sir.
Donald Walker, you experienced some tragedy too.
Yes, sir.
And it's completely different than your brother.
Yes, sir.
Can you just comment on? We talking about fame and tragedy.
Just the fact that I losing my sister, it through this whole process too. It shook me to the core too. It wasn't for my mom and her faith, and just every day when I had hard times, I would call her, and she would just. Here, read this passage. Here, just stay on the phone. I'll read this passage to you. And her unwavering, her unwavering strength and promising God, I think, brought that back to me. It wasn't just my mom, but I had, Miss Jamie Worthy from Tri-Soul Baptist Church, Mr. Sly Stone. They always kept in contact, through prayer and just reaching out to my mom and dad to make sure me and my brother were okay. And my sister had 3 kids, and when you go through tragedy, you have 2 directions to go. You can go back that way. You can continue on with that tragedy, live in that moment, and never move forward. Or you can grab that moment, embrace that moment, and you can move forward. But you make sure that it doesn't happen again. And I think that's been my goal since all this has happened, is just make sure that every young person that I touch, or every person that I talk to make sure, want to tell my story not as a badge of courage.
Right, a badge of courage, because that's not the case. Because I give it all back if I have my sister, but to let them know that you get knocked down, you can get back up. But it's not how you get back up; it's what you do when you get back up. It's the deed that you need to do. It's because God put it in you. Right. And my whole process of this was to make sure, A, my sister would be remembered. B, the mom and dad would be proud and never have to cry again. And C, that you see me in a positive light, that you see me there knocked down, our family knocked down, but God is good all the time.
All the time, He's good.
Well, there has been a lot of tragedy in the city of Aliquippa.
Yes, sir.
More than enough.
More than enough for one city to hold.
The whole outlook or the perspective of Aliquippians is that you better carry you a knife, or you better carry a gun, or you better be packed before you start going around to the city. But with this tragedy, God has brought forth elevation, and your mission is to make sure you create a safety environment.
Because you want to change the perception of the city. Since we took office, the atmosphere in Aliquippa is so different now. People finally understand, they get it. The reputation that we had took us 100 years to get.
What you say?
So it's going to take us a while to break the mold. But what you want to pour,
so long.
Yeah, what you want to pour into people is hope and pride, because that was the first thing that left Aliquippa when the mill shut down. When that mill shut down, it took our pride away, it took our love away, it took our hope away, because you never thought you would see a day like that. We still don't have them days, but we got our. I always tell people we've been in a recession longer than America has been in a recession.
That's true.
We've been in a recession longer than America, and we managed to survive. So we just keep moving forward. God said, just keep moving forward. Don't stand in front of the mountain praying for it to move. Start climbing.
Well, that's why I appreciate the vision of Quentin Dixon.
Yes, sir.
Because in the midst of this recession, I think about 8 years ago, he caught the vision.
Yes.
And can you comment on the vision for Homeboy Football Camp?
Yeah, basically, about 8 years ago, I came back to the Aliquippa community. I've been a football coach all over the country in several different places. And it was my vision to come back and start something, because football in Aliquippa is king. Everybody knows that. We've had such great athletes to come out of there, and basically what I was trying to do was to kind of expound on that and not only give the kids an opportunity to go through football and athletics, but also show them another vision of, hey, you can be something more than just football. And I think it's admirable today to have Mr. Walker and his brother on the show to even show the kids and the people that, hey, you can be more than just football. You can be more than just athletics. There's different role models that you can have. And basically what we've tried to do is we've tried to show and use football as a carrot, but it's just not the carrot. It's just a little thing that brings them in because they love athletics, but we're also trying to show them drug prevention, trying to show them crime prevention, trying to show them nutrition, trying to show them different aspects of character building. And we've had different people come down to the football camp, such as Kevin Colbert's come down, the general manager for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've had several athletes come down, and we also like to invite on the show Mr. Walker. We want him to come down this year and speak to the kids, because I think it's very, very important that these kids get surrounded and see different role models. Coming up, it's not wrong to be a preacher. It's not wrong to be a fireman. It's not wrong to be, my dad worked in the mill, and he's my hero. So you can have Darrell Revis as your hero. That's great. You can have Sean Gilbert as your hero. That's great. But there's other things out there also, and that's what we really try to promote.
Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you, this sounds wonderful, and I believe, again, these leaders are here to give a different perspective and to change the outcome. Healthy living, safety living, spiritual living. How many churches did you say? What?
There's 43 in Aliquippa, 53 total in surrounding Hopewell Center area. So I probably blend to most, if not all, the churches, and maybe except for a few in Aliquippa when I was running the last 2 years. But you know, we want to have a sense of accountability. We want to be on one accord with God and Christ and the land, and also with the people of the city. They have to be. We as a political, facet of this thing is that we want to be accountable. We want to be visible. We want to be transparent. We want what you see is what you get. I'm not a politician. I don't know how to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I want to speak truth and light. I want people to understand when I sting my hand in friendship that you always got a friend in me. You know, that's the only way our city is going to grow, if we hold true to those values of being transparent, being God-like, being salt-light in the world. Because, you know, God don't want you to just keep praying for something. He wants you to make an action. He wants you to move and step out on faith for that action to come forth. Like with Homeboys Camp, he's taking an action. And whatever the city of Aliquippa can do to continue that action, we will do it. You know, because we need these positive role models. We need these avenues of outlets for our city to shine and get out of these reputations of us being drug dealers, gun-toting thugs and want to kill people. That's not the case. Aliquippa is so filled with beautiful, ethnic, different backgrounds. It's beautiful. When I knocked on doors in Aliquippa, not one door was closed to me. No one turned their hand away from me. They was enthusiastic about a young man wanting to get up and do something like that because they've been waiting a long time for somebody to step up and do something different, a new thing. And God said he wants us to do a new thing. I'm here as a face of the city.
Right.
You know, I'm here because I wouldn't have got here on my own. God had to show favor in my life for me to even be sitting right next to you, Reverend Clark, and I know that. And I humbly appreciate that vote of confidence from God. And that he finally did have faith in the man, and he knows I'm a work in progress. He knows I'm trying to push more of me out and more of him in, but he has showed favor, and that's all I can ask.
Now, we were looking at tragedy and famous, and we're just looking at the famous being elevating to a position to do positive works.
Yes, sir.
The city of Aliquippa has a lot to offer.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if Donald Trump, if I'm talking about to the richies, to the rich people or the rich class, if Donald Trump would come here and interview you, would you have something to offer?
Yes.
What would you offer Donald Trump?
I would tell Mr. Trump, you know, we're 15 minutes away from a major airport. We're 25 to 30 minutes away from two major borders, the Ohio and West Virginia border. Aliquippa is 4.4 square miles. There's 9,453 people. We have almost 1.5 to 2 miles worth of riverfront untapped. We're undeveloped. We're the last frontier. We need you. It's not a question about what can you bring, it's what can you bring to bring jobs to my city. You know, we have a lot to offer as far as being in the centermost part of Beaver County, that we have access routes by water, by rail, by roads, and all we're looking for is somebody to have faith. Just have faith that we can do it. Have faith that we can bring him the workforce to get it done. And that's all we're looking for right now.
If the Middle East, Saudi Arabia representative, if they came to Aliquippa, would it be the similar things that you can offer?
Oh, yes. Because, you know, most of those people are into developing. And any idea that they can do to develop and it's about changing the atmosphere and the vision of the city. I mean, if you could change for a kid what they look out their window and see, then you can also change their mind about where they want to go. So I believe that to be the case. You know, when I got to travel and go on vacations and stuff, you know, I realized that Aliquippa was not quote unquote a box, but it was, look, there's a world out there. Mm-hmm. And there's something I got to get to. I'm not asking you to go out and get an education and never come home. I'm just saying see the world. Because when you realize out there that there's some places tougher than Aliquippa that been doing it, you know, then you realize that, you know, hey, we are small in this thing. But like I told him, there's something inside of every child and every person that God has put there, and He's just waiting for you to find your destiny. I would tell anybody from Saudi Arabia, anybody that has money, anybody that's looking to invest, come to the city of Aliquippa. Our arms are open. I mean, we got a workforce that are of young people that were willing to do anything they can to earn an honest wage, to take care of their families. The American dream just didn't stop when it came to Aliquippa. It actually manifested even more now because of what was taken from us, our hospitals and our meal. We got a workforce itching to work right now. And I'm here to tell anybody that want to listen, please come.
For the less fortunate class,
Yes,
the
sir.
poor class, what does Aliquippa have to offer?
Look, we got we school district that's up and coming. We AYP certified. You know, we just got 2 new schools, an elementary school and a high school. We got comparable living. We got a state-of-the-art school, but on top of that, we got comparable living conditions. You can buy a house right now in Aliquippa for $5,000, 2-3 bedrooms, for $5,000. You can't do that anywhere. We're in driving distance to we're within a couple miles of Walmart, grocery stores, and now we got a new grocery store bottom dollar. We're just looking for an expansion for people to come in and make this place their home. If you moved out of Aliquippa and you want to come home, come on home. Bring us your ideas. There's no assessment. I mean, we just want the foundation of a people to come back. At its height, we had 19,000 people employed at that mill. We had a population of about 19,000. 11,000 people, even after the mill shut down into the early parts of 2000, the population started to decline.
Right.
You know, we can be that working force again. You know, Beaver County as a whole would benefit from Aliquippa rising. The whole Beaver County as a whole would benefit from Aliquippa rising from the ashes like a phoenix. Beaver County wouldn't just have to sell half of Beaver County. They could sell all of Beaver County with Aliquippa included. And that's what I want to change. I want to change that atmosphere. I want to reach out to these people and tell them, man, we're not the same people. We want what we want. We want ours. We want to sit at the same dinner table that you sit at and eat just as much food as you eat.
Well, I tell you this. The steel mills made Aliquippa famous in the 1900s.
Yes, sir.
In the 20th century, the NFL football players made Aliquippa famous.
Yes, sir.
I believe in the 21st century, the type of leadership that God has placed in Aliquippa, with you being the mayor, will make a difference in the 21st century. So I want to encourage you to stay focused.
Yes, sir.
And keep on hearing the voice of God.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you believe that the infrastructure 47.
Like 47, yes.
Yeah. Do you believe that you're going to be able to change that in a short period of time?
Well, we got to. I mean, within the next 2 years is my goal is try to get us out of Act 47.
Okay.
Now, obviously, some things got to come out right, like the cracker plant that's supposedly coming to Aliquippa. A few other things, small businesses are coming to Aliquippa. I mean, we're not dead yet. You know, there's still life in Aliquippa yet. And if you know us from our football, then you got to know the same thing that's in them had to come from somewhere. That fight, that willingness to want to do it right, the willingness to not know how many times you get knocked down, just keep getting up. Because we here now. So believe me, this is what we want to do. We want to change the face of Aliquippa. We need everybody that was willing to make a change. We don't need any backsliding, no crabs in the barrel. We just need everybody to be all hands on deck, ready to move forward when God say move forward. You know, put yourself aside now. This thing is bigger than me. It's bigger than my brother. It's bigger than Coach. It's bigger than you, Rev. This is God's will now. This is something He wants to happen, not me. I'm just an instrument. God is going to do what He wants with me. If I don't do what He wants, He's going to put somebody else in this seat and 4 more years after me. So I want to obey and I want to stay obedient to His will.
Well, I believe you're going to make Aliquippa famous again. I believe that you can, and things are. If if you change the infrastructure, it could happen.
And they said if you build it, they can come. So I don't take no for an answer. I try to find the yeses. I'm a yes man. I try to get out there and find. If you tell me no, I'm gonna go find somebody else that'll tell me yes. Aliquippa's heard no too many times now. It's time for us to go get it.
Well, that tells me. Let me ask you about how you became mayor. What did you have to do? How many people did you see? Do you have an idea of
I mean, this
your
probably,
campaign? Tell me about your campaign.
we just sat down and did a grassroots campaign that they did in the 60s and 70s. We got back to knocking on doors, trying to reach heart to heart, chest to chest. Any question they want to ask me, I would let them ask me right there on the porch. Live and in charge, ain't no script. It's just me pitching me. Mm-hmm. You know, and Aliquippa just, I mean, they trust the people that they see. They don't trust the people that they don't see. Okay. You know, they saw me coaching their kids, and they saw us out in the community. And when I brought forth my campaign, I would put it on flyers, the 4 questions that anybody would ever ask. Why do you think you qualify to be mayor in Aliquippa? What do you bring to the table for Aliquippa? What is your goal for the city while you were in your first 4 years? And those are questions I put on a flyer, a little flyer, 4x8, about that size. And I would knock on doors, and they were printed on colorful paper so nobody would be afraid. And I would knock on their doors, and I would give them the information that they needed. And I'm like, this is your shot. You got 2 years till 2011 to make a change in this city. I'm your last shot. I need your help. I can't do this alone. I need your. Like I said, don't pray for the man. Pray for God. Do His will in that man. So I never tell people, don't pray for me. You know, pray for God to give me the wisdom and the knowledge and the patience of Job to do the things I have to do, because I didn't get into this thinking it was going to be easy.
So the mayor, the former mayor, was in 3 terms.
Yes, sir.
And you were able to defeat the mayor.
Yes, sir.
Did you mention that the Democratic Party was supporting you?
They did not support me.
The Republican Party didn't?
No.
Did you have some foundation money?
No. I put my own money in.
Did anybody put some money behind you brothers?
No, sir.
No,
sir.
Okay, you're telling me that this was a fresh
grassroots
campaign. We're not politicians.
Right.
I'm a sales rep for FedEx. I run Lower East Side of Manhattan. Got my brother,
substitute
teacher, Western Psych. So you don't have politicians here.
Not board of bread. Didn't go to college for it.
Didn't wake up one morning and say.
Felt like it had to be a need to change.
My whole life.
No, you had the mentor who says, make sure these brothers win.
And that was God.
That was God.
He walked with us step by step. I mean, we made some. See, it's funny because I tell people in my testimony, it's like we made mistakes, and for whatever reason, God put us right back on the same path. He'll let us make our mistakes and just put us right back on the same path. It was just we raised money on our own. I would never take money from anybody because I just thought whenever you take something from somebody, you give a piece of yourself. Whether you directly or indirectly do that, they will always say that you owe them something. I never wanted to owe anybody. I was scared of owing somebody because I said the only man I owe is God.
You wouldn't take no money.
I would never take any money. Anybody in Quip will tell you that.
Yes. Even when we won the election in May and we moved forward to go to the final election in November, Democratic Party didn't help us. We were their elected candidates.
And they didn't help us. They didn't support us.
They didn't help us. They didn't support us.
No.
We sold tickets for them, but when it came time for our ideas, and they just said, well, we're going to do it the way we've been doing it. But that's the problem. You have been doing it the same way you've been doing it, and then look where it got you. It's by grace of God. We come to this picture like we didn't need you because we were doing it all by ourselves. And don't think because of UMA it changed, because in our sense we still had to grind. Like, my brother had a mantra going through this whole campaign was nobody will outwork us. Nobody will outwork us. And we made that a battle cry.
Right.
And now moving forward as elected officials, our mantra is all hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Making everybody on one accord, be accountable for their own actions in their own individual homes, and stand up for what's yours. Again, taking it back to those old days when we were kids. When someone else standing in Aliquippa walk up to you and say, "Hey, you better get off that corner and take your little butt home." You ain't turn around and go, "You better don't talk to me, old lady." No, we was ready to go. I'm going to tell you, and you did it. And you didn't talk back. You didn't sass. You did what you were told to do because there's a respect there. Because that family knew my family. And we got to get back to that. And we can. And a lot of people think that Aliquippa is not that way, but trust me, it's waiting to be that way.
It's waiting to be that way again.
Things are not learned, they're taught. You have to teach. These kind of kids, the kids we deal with every day, you have to teach them respect. Because until they learn that simple concept, they think everything has to be given to them. They don't have to. I don't have to give you respect. I'm supposed to get it because I've always gotten it. No, it's okay to say thank you and please. It's okay to say I appreciate you. And then vice versa. Because a lot of kids don't get that either.
I don't get that.
Yeah,
and we talk about it all the time. The biggest problem in Aliquippa is the mental health issue. I mean, you always were taught what happens in your house stayed in your house.
Right.
But now it's coming to the streets.
Now it's coming to the streets now. And now you're dealing with a whole different atmosphere mentally with kids that you're dealing with now. They're on a whole nother level. They know more. They have access to more. They can do more. We didn't have that growing up. So you gotta curve that. You gotta give, but there's no outlet in Aliquippa. So we trying to reach out to anybody outside Aliquippa that want to bring a rec center to Aliquippa. That will bring any programs that will have our kids being somewhere doing something mentally, physically labor, like just anything that will take their mind off of what they got to do, like what Mr. Dixon is doing.
Right.
Football coaches, we get out there, let them run around and play, but get disciplined at the same time. You know what? You might not think you learning something, but you learning something.
Right. Let me give you a little piece of my life.
He giving you a little piece of him. We gonna give you a little piece of us. But what you learn from him is all on you. All on you.
Well, it sounds as if they need something constructive to do. And you being the having the responsibility of park and recreation, you have a challenge.
Yes, sir.
You have a challenge, but I'm sure
I don't have a challenge. We as a city have a challenge, right? That we have, because again, if you put it to me as an individual, I'm gonna tell you, Moses didn't do it by himself. God gave him that vision that he welcomed the people to follow. That's right. So that's what I'm trying to do. My brother put me in charge of park and recreation, which I welcome the challenge, but at the same time, you can't exclude either. You got to include a lot of people. So if you have a child and you want your child to see better, I need your help. Guess what? I'm selling tickets. Guess what? I'm selling shirts. It don't benefit me or the city. It's going straight to park and recreational. I want your kids to go to the zoo next week. I want your kids to go to a pirate game. I want your kids to go to an amusement park. And the whole thing of it is the last regime, and I won't name names, but at the same time, they did their best. What I'm trying to change the game is I'm using Facebook as a media center gossip line. I'm using, my text message as a means for information and not put on blast or to talk negative. I'm saying, hey, look, like right now we're selling raffle tickets for Park Recreational because May 12th we go to a pirate game. I just want to take 300 kids. Now, if more than 300 kids go, glory be to God, because then I want to take you. I want you to go see a pirate game. Half of the kids in Aliquippa have never even been out of Aliquippa to see a pirate game, except on TV. Well, guess what? May 12th, we're going to try to make that happen.
Because we throwing out the first pitch.
Right. Do you have a list of youth that you can touch and say, we're going to this game?
Oh, I have unlimited access to youth. Again, my job is a wraparound as well as a substitute teacher in Aliquippa.
Okay.
And my wife is also a teacher's aide in Aliquippa High School. So we've pulled youth in Aliquippa to come work with us. We have a young man by Daquan Rupert, who's a junior in Aliquippa High School, who's been helping my brother on this campaign for the last 2 years. I have a young man by the name of Joamin Stone, who currently is a senior. He's doing a senior project on marketing. He's helping me with my my Park and Recreational. He's getting information out for me. He's made me
grants and stuff
sign
like
up
that.
sheets and all kind of stuff. I have the city of the school district of Aliquippa, Mr. Lakovich, who has T-shirt designs that will help us sell. I'm not going out of any other businesses. I'm going straight to my high school. You got all these machines. I want you to help me. Again, it's pulling people in. It's using your avenues, using your word of mouth, talking to people, making sure they understand that, look, I can't do this by myself. My brother didn't put me in this position to fail, but he also said to me, you can't do it by yourself either. Right. You grab, you know who to grab. That's the first thing he said. I'll put your brother, because you know who to grab. You know who to talk to.
You know who's going to come out and help
Right.
when you need him to, without a shadow of a doubt.
And the minute I put my Facebook page up and I said, hey, I have 1,000 tickets to sell, it exploded. It went from 5 minutes after I put the post on, by the time within an hour, I had over 47 replies and requests. People from outside of Aliquippa have called me and emailed me different information to help to ease that financial burden for some of the families. But, it's not just me.
We might end up taking more than 300.
Right, which I hope.
I would
Which I
love
hope.
that hopefully I can make the ball go down and do catch it, but me and my brother was saying, I would love to look at that backstop or that outfield and see all those kids wearing red and black.
shirts and to say Aliquippa.
Aliquippa,
all hands on deck.
Oh, man. You know what I mean? That's an awesome thing because
You moved the city.
we moved the city.
Absolutely.
And when you move, like I said, the biggest thing is hearts and minds. You change hearts and minds, man, you saying something. You preaching.
That's right.
You change hearts and minds that can believe that this can happen. Forget about your haters and your naysayers and the ones that don't think it can happen for you. Wow, like when they told me I couldn't win, I said, you going to tell another Aliquippa kid that he can't win?
That's the last thing.
That's the last thing you're going to say to me.
right.
Because I'm going to show you. I'm not going to beat my chest. I'm not going to brag and boast. You're going to witness this thing happening on your watch. And there's nothing you can do about it because God is on my side. There's nothing you can do about it. Because God said this is going to happen to Juan. And you're going to need people. You turn no man away. You hold no malice in your heart, no matter what comes. I mean, I just believe. Like I said, if you're around me and my brother and Mark DeLone and us long enough, you'll feel that love. Mm-hmm. You'll feel that koinonia. You'll feel that oneness. Like, look, I don't know if it's going to happen, but them boys doing something.
That's right. That's right.
That's what you're going to say.
What-
when you walk from my sight, that's what you're going to say.
You could sense the energy. I just hope it's coming out on the tubes, and convince someone to give you a call.
Yeah, please.
Write you a letter, email you, and say, "Listen, I feel encouraged. I heard something on the across the pastors desk outreach, and why don't you give the information how you can be reached?"
Please, if there's anything you can do out there, Aliquippa is open. We need your help. We can't do it alone. We in-house, but also we got to come out to the city and branch out to Allegheny County, Westmoreland, Washington County. If you got anything of interest that you think could benefit Aliquippa, by all means, bring it to our attention. You can reach me on my cell at 724-513-9285. Also at my email is Dwan.Walker, DWAN.Walker, at aliquippa.pa.gov. And also at the city building, 724-375-5188. Believe me, we're not opposed to anyone bringing legit business plans. Me and my brother both are qualified to write grants. We are willing and more than able to get your dreams off, to help you shine, because as you shine, we shine together. Right. The city shines together. As I shine, the city shines. So I just want to bring enough light to my city so that me and my brother stay safe and that the city goes in grace and God shows favor over these two men in the city that's trying to move forward right now. And over Mr. Dixon's dreams, bring them, the only thing that kills the dreams is somebody saying they can't do it. You got to move forward, man. God wants us to move forward. Quit praying about things. You want a job, go out there and apply for one. You want a new car, go out there and look at one. Declare what you want and go try to find a way to get it, and God will show favor. But if you sit back on these sidelines and you keep praying for those things and you don't step out on faith, God ain't gonna give you a thing. It ain't because God didn't do it, because you didn't have faith to walk out and do it. And that's what he wants from Aliquippa. He wants us to walk out on faith. He wants us to have the courage and the conviction that we cannot go against God. If God says for us, it's for you.
Amen.
If he said it's for you, it is for you.
Wow. Well, I tell you this. The energy is good. It appears as if, with the lack of experience, as being an issue.
Right.
Forget about that. I mean,
We more than make up for it with energy.
These brothers, the ruling twins.
Say that. We got a lot of slack for that.
Okay, well, the Pittsburgh Courier said the ruling. What did the Pittsburgh Courier say? The Walker twins rule Aliquippa.
Can I say something, Mr. Clark? The whole thing of it is that my mom gave us slack about that too, and I want everybody to understand that we don't rule, God does. He just gave us the grace and the know-how to govern. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the article that we didn't have no hands in that title. That's right. But at the same time, God rules. He gives us the grace and the knowledge and the blessings to govern under his ruling. So, I appreciate the article and the title itself, but to say we rule, no way.
No way.
No way.
But we definitely want to thank the Pittsburgh Courier for telling our story.
Yes.
I mean, if it wasn't for them, Beaver County Times didn't tell our story.
What's that?
Our hometown newspaper put us on the 9th page. They didn't even report it.
Right.
Pittsburgh Courier picked it up, and they put us on the front page of 2 different articles,
right.
2 different weeks, and for our story to be told. And Lynn Hayes Freeland,
Appreciate her.
Oh my God,
Oh, man.
Lynn Hayes Freeland is like a close personal friend of me and Donald's now.
Yes.
I mean, she told a story. When they told her not to tell a story, she came and did it anyway.
Yeah, she hunted us down through Facebook.
And she hunted us down and found us.
Yes, and found
And
us.
I mean, the only way something like this miracle, let's say, could happen, or even be heard, or even talked about, is because of things like this. Because the Pittsburgh Courier did it. Because Lynn Hayes Freeland stepped out on faith and told the tale. And to me, I can't thank Pittsburgh Courier enough. I couldn't thank Lynn Hayes Freeland and KDKA, Channel 2, could not thank them enough, man. They were awesome, and they're tasteful, how they told the story. They respected our wishes, and you can't ask for more than that.
Well, before I forget, the Pastor's Wives Auxiliary.
Yes, sir.
Of the Second Ecclesiastical Jurisdiction of Pennsylvania
Yes, sir.
told me to let you know that the committee has nominated Mayor Walker
Wow.
and Councilman Walker to receive the Black History Achievement Award 2012.
Wow.
Thank you.
So you're going to be receiving some correspondence from that committee because we feel that they feel that it's so deserving.
Wow.
Thank you.
And this event is going to take place at the April the 2nd at the Airport Marriott. Wow. You're going to receive the Black History Achievement Award.
Wow.
So, if I'm glad I remembered to let you know. I'm broadcasting it now, letting you know, and letting the Pittsburgh and the people from all over the world that these men deserve this particular honor and award.
All glory go to God. All glory go to God and my mom and dad. My mom and dad, Donald and Sharon Walker, are
Everything.
everything to us. They've been married for 38 years. Some say longer than that. But Chucky and Chatter, as they're known in Aliquippa, I love them. Me and my brother wouldn't be here without them. They brought us back to God. They
keep us humble.
They keep us humble on a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
They let us know we always loved. I mean, we still their babies, and I'm truly humble.
Thank you.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, everything me and Donald say every day, we know our sister proud of us. We just want to be a light for her. You know, she was the spark, which we were made, you know, which led us to this direction, but we're only going to be weighed and measured by our deeds, and we understand that. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'd rather my deeds speak for me, so when God called me home, he'll say, good job, good and faithful servant. Go see your sister.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Go see your sister, and I dream about that every day. To see her voice, to see her laugh, and that's what I want to do. You don't have to worry about me being humble. I'm already humble. I got to do this thing right so my sister can see me again and I can see her. So she can hug me and tell me she loved me and she knew I could do it. Because I know in my head, I hear every day, I knew you could do it, bruh. So I have to do this right. It's a non-negotiable.
Well, I know that I had to get that out today.
Thank you.
And I will communicate your sentiments back to them that you
I'm truly honored.
will receive this particular honor at the Black
truly.
History Achievement Award.
Truly honored. Like, beyond measure.
You know, it's vitally important that we recognize the good in people. There are so many unsung heroes out here that have never got a thank you or never been recognized for what they're doing. And this committee has been operating for over 25 years in the community, giving and appreciating and showing appreciation and love for the things that people do.
Yes, sir.
And they've been watching you, and they, you know, had come to a conclusion that you are worthy of this particular honor.
Oh, we worthy.
We thankful.
Now, there's another thing that's happening. I don't know how much time we got. We got about 5 minutes, or about 5 minutes. And maybe we can address a little bit of it, but it's your role to safeguard Aliquippa,
Yes, sir.
to safeguard the children
Yes, sir.
and the youth.
Yes, sir.
We are familiar with the Penn State drama.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we being a athletic community, we want the world and the community and the country to know that you can be assured that when you send your son to homeboy football camp,
Oh, yeah.
that they don't have to worry about anything like what's going on in
No question.
Penn State
No.
to be going on.
In Aliquippa, no.
Yeah, you know,
Geneva College, no way. No way, no how.
You know, I never seen
No.
an abuse scandal like that.
Like that, no.
I never seen a sex scandal like that in the athletic. It has left a stain
Oh, yeah. Not
on
just on
Penn
the country,
State,
but on the country.
but around the country.
Yeah, man.
And so I want you to give me some insight. How would you handle a situation like that? We just have a few more minutes though.
You want? Yes, sir, Mr. Dixon. I think that's a better question for Mr. Dixon. Yeah,
You know, I would refer that to me, but me as a city, as mayor, you know, you make sure, and Mr. Dixon has ran a camp for over 8 years now, hasn't had an incident. You would hope who you instill your kids to or give your kids to, that they show the same love and respect.
They would show their own.
They would show their own children, you know, that they are children who cannot protect or fend for themselves. I have no doubt Mr. Dixon will do his due diligence to make sure who he picks to run these camps are over above board because most of them have to be coaches and you have to get certified. So I have no doubt about that, Mr. Dixon. If you
Yeah,
want
there's definitely a certification process that we have to go through in order to deal with kids on the state level and that type of thing. So those safeguards are pretty well taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Plus, what we try to do is we try to employ people within the community to coach the kids.
Right.
So these are kids that are dealing with
they know.
people that they know. So I mean, any kind of thing that may happen, they gonna go tell.
That's right.
You know, and that's the way we bring our kids up. You know, you appropriate. There's appropriate type of behavior. There's appropriate type of touching. There's appropriate type of things that go on, and then there's inappropriate. And if any of those questionable things come up, or any of those things try to happen, you go tell somebody. And I would say over the course of 8 years, we have had no incidents. Our kids are very, very, our coaches, I should say, are very, very accountable of the kids that they operate with, and we have had no instances thus far. And grace of God, you know, and we try to put that in, and instill that in them.
Like I said, that's just all about what Homeboys Camp and what Aliquippa want to do. Again, we want to be accountable. We want to be resolute. We want to take action when action is needed. We want to be visible, transparent. Because if you can see what we're doing, if you can interact in what we're doing, the likelihood of something getting past one of us or the city is slim to none. If it does, you know, hey, step back, own it. Okay, I made a mistake. Let me step back. Let me go back and make the steps again. That's because you have to, you know, if you make something wrong, make a mistake, just own it. Don't try to excuse it off. Don't do anything silly. Just own it. And that's what the atmosphere in Aliquippa is going to change. That's what we try to tell the city and the state of Pennsylvania. You know, Beaver County, Allegheny County, Westmoreland, Washington County. The Aliquippa is a different place now. You know, yeah, we have as many problems as anyone else. As anyone else, you got your shootings, you got your drugs, but listen.
We have outlets, we have great things.
But what we're trying to do is we're looking forward to the hill where our help comes from. Mm-hmm. We know brighter days are coming. We just gonna hold true to that. I'm not gonna let anybody tell us we can't. It's gonna happen.
Well, we thank you again for coming on our show, and I'm just going to give you the last 2 minutes, last minute to speak to the world as mayor of Aliquippa.
Listen, believe me, to the world and to the nation, this is Aliquippa now. This is the face of Aliquippa. I'm 36 years old. I've never been a politician. I know people. I speak life. I speak prosperity. We need all hands on deck. We need people to understand that Aliquippa is not your granddad's or grandma's Aliquippa. We're a fresh face with a new start, and that's what we're looking for. You know, some old habits die hard, but our arms are open. God has showed favor. We're on the right path. Can't do it alone, though. By no way, shape, form, or the imagination can we rise from the ashes without people, without heart, without love, without pride. There's no way Aliquippa can rise without those things. You need love most of all. You gotta have pride most of all, but you gotta have hope as a big component. Because as long as you hope for things and have faith in those things to come to pass, Aliquippa will shine. We will shine together. There's no one man going to stand above God. Not me, not anybody. But I am the face of Aliquippa, and I humbly and respectfully accept that. Because I know comes with that comes responsibility, accountability. And I'm willing to take on any problem in my city to prove someone wrong, to let them know that we are here and that we want to sit at the same table as you. We want our fair portion. We're not going to sit back and wait for the scraps. We're going out and getting ours, and we need to do that because we've been waiting for too long now. I'm just asking for Aliquippa to stand with me, stand on one accord. All the churches in Aliquippa, all the churches around the counties, stand with us. We cannot do this alone. We need all the prayers. We need the patience of Job. We need all the prayers that we can get our hands on for we can change hearts and minds. That's what it's about. Again, if you need anything from me, my name is DeJuan Walker. I'm mayor of Aliquippa, DWAN.Walker at Aliquippa, NFPA.gov, 724-513-9285. Please, just reach out to us. There will not be a door closed to you. We will send you. We will put out our right hand of friendship and fellowship to you. We are welcome. We are wanted. You are important to us. So understand that. Most of all, we are here, and we need your help. Thank you.